Good morning, boys and girls. So here is our calendar for the week. And I wanted to explain it in a video so that in case people weren't able to get on this morning, they could see it later on. So as you can see, it is May 18th to May 22nd. Um, we will be doing math in the mornings, lessons 8, 9, and 10. You notice we don't have Zern on Wednesday, and that's because we're probably going to do some wacky Wednesday stuff like art or an activity. We'll do something fun that day. From 10:30 to 11, we're still going to do our Google Meets and we're going to continue with an Achieve lesson, and I'll show you those in a moment. And then we're going to, together as a class tomorrow, do something new. It's called Fortunately, Unfortunately. And it's a story we're going to work on together in class. And then that way, once you figure it out, and once we do it a little bit, you guys can go ahead and do your own. So it's kind of it's a fun little story. And then for the next 2 weeks, you're going to have a chance to write your own personal narrative about your life in quarantine. And there are some questions. I'll show you that as well. We're still going to do our Google Meets for read aloud. Actually, this one says 1 o'clock. It'll still be 12:30, and I will go ahead and change that. And then you're still working on your California State project, and you're still working on your, oops, I just went to the wrong one. You're still working on your Rube Goldberg project. Now you're going to start creating your Rube Goldberg machine. So first thing I wanted to show you are the Achieve lessons. I've put all three on here except for on Wednesday because we'll probably be continuing our Wacky Wednesday that day. But one of the articles is about counting rats from space. And what I thought was really interesting was when I first looked at it, I didn't know what it was about until I opened the article and realized that it is about the kangaroo rat, which is in California. And actually, the kangaroo rat was something that was here. It's now considered an endangered species, and it was here in Menifee. It actually stopped us from building Evans Ranch, and we had to wait. I think it was 4 or 5 years before we could actually build the school because these giant kangaroo rats were there, and they didn't want to destroy their habitat. So you're going to read about that. There's an activity to do. There's an after poll question. Another article is the Giants of California. This has to do with the big redwoods up north. If you've ever been to the Sequoia National Park, it's amazing. It's these tall 200-year trees. You can't even imagine how tall they can be. They're enormous. But this is an article all about them. And again, there's an activity in an after reading poll. And then the third article, if you're interested in it, is the jumbo squid that's off of the coast of San Diego that they're finding. Oop, I clicked on the activity instead of article. So let me go back to the article. And this huge squid, huge, was found. And so they're wondering why it's coming off the shores of San Diego. So that's interesting to read about. So those are the 3 Achieve articles you can do. When you get to your personal narrative, so this is our to-do list. So those are the Achieve lessons. You know how to do Zern. When you get to the personal narrative, this will be in Google Classroom. This is your explanation of how to do My Life in Quarantine. You'll create a 3-paragraph or more essay. Here are some questions that you can answer. You don't have to answer all of them. You might answer 3 of them. You might answer all of them. You might answer more things. But this is all the things I want you to be thinking about in your essay. You should include most of this in your essay. And the big thing is right here. Do not just write one sentence for each question. So you don't want to write, I feel sad. That's not a very good emotion. You want to kind of explain that. During the quarantine, at first I felt very excited and because I was able to miss school, but then I started getting bored and start talking about different emotions. Explain everything. Okay. If you do feel like being extra creative or you don't want to write an essay, you can always write a poem or a song and then turn that in instead. So that is it. Your California State project is still the same thing. You're just continuing to work on the slides and turning them in when you're done. And then your California Symbols art, which is the art projects that are on the Google Classroom, and then your Rube Goldberg machine. So hopefully that you understand this. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask me. You can send me a note in Google Classroom. You can send me an email, or you can just come on to the Google Meets and ask. Okay. So I will see you guys later. Bye.